Hi, and welcome to another episode of Ew, what did she do to her makeup? To which I would respond, if you say one more word, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Today, we'll be going over and reviewing this. We'll be opening and comparing for the first time this. And we'll be opening and comparing this. So, if you like long reviews, or unboxing videos, or you're just a Final Fantasy XIV fanboy like me, you'll probably enjoy this video. Alright, so first things first. This is Stormblood. And I'm glad it's finally arrived because I have been unable to play because there's a code in here that I need. But I'm going to open this up with my trusty rusty machete that my mom said I needed in case I ever moved out. Don't know why she couldn't just buy me a gun, but hey, here I am. So let's get this open and see how it compares to the release and expansion of Heaven's Word. Come on. I know you're rested, but you deserve to give me at least a proper unboxing. You know, I think my hands are sharper than this rusted machete. Okay. It's another box! Oh, nope, it's just the top of a box. The top of a box! Let's throw that aside and take this beauty out of her box. So, whew, here we go. Lovely. It looks to be about the same shape as the Heaven's Word expansion. Look at how pretty this is. This is fantastic. So, now with most of Square Enix's things, it doesn't actually look like they put any of those like protective stickers on the inside of the plastic. That's something that we saw in the Final Fantasy XV limited edition, which I was not a big fan of because it can potentially damage the box. So, instead of using my machete for this, let's see if I can use the power of my long female claws. Oh hey, I made a little hole. And it's like my birthday! Alright! Hey, I'm one of those children that collects the wrapping at Christmas. Leave me alone. Alright. So you can see the back here as well. The back mainly talks about you get the action figure, you get a steel case, it looks like you get a patch, you get the updated Eorzean map, you get the art book, and the very nice kind of outer case, if you will, the cardstock version of the Stormblood. And some DLC content, which you don't get, but I get. Alright, so let's get her open. Let's actually compare the size of this to the Heaven's Word. So as you can see, Stormblood is actually bigger. And that's actually fantastic to see and fantastic to hear due to the fact that Stormblood was around $200 and Heaven's Word was $150. I was actually quite worried that we would see a very similar box with not much changes or anything in terms of quality, but it looks like the box is bigger. So the only thing that's kind of saddening to me is there's no like connecting pictures on the side of either. That would be kind of cool. The artwork for this one is on the side, while the artwork for the Stormblood one is directly on the front. And while these look like great and masterful art pieces that you can put on top of shelves, I'm really sad that there's no like kind of, you know, stacking feature. For example, the Dot Hack games back on the PlayStation 2 era did that, and I feel like the opportunity is there. I would love to see it, but it looks like that is not the case, so I'm a little bit saddened by that. The other thing to note is that this logo, the Heaven's Word logo right here, which is very neat, very clean, it's actually only on the top of the Stormblood box. So if you wanted to display it like this, that would look a little funky, so something to keep in mind. I'm gonna open this very carefully. Oh geez. I don't want to rip anything. I don't know about you, but if you guys ever try and open these things and you always rip the side, that drives me nuts. especially if I spent that much money on the item. So I want to be super careful. Oh, there we go. Ooh. So the inside is pretty gorgeous, I will admit. The inside is this, it's upside down because I'm fantastic at my job, but it's this golden kind of box. So very different from Heavensward in that regard. So let's do this the haphazard way, because this is a smart idea and you're tuned into Jackass. I can hear the fanboy tears now. I can hear it now. I mean, it's gorgeous. This is the easiest way I can think of. Almost. Oh, she did it. It's a baby girl. There we go. All right. Oh my god, this box is absolutely gorgeous. I would prefer to just display it like this versus the box that was down there. This is fantastic. It has the logo art, which I was complaining about just a second ago. It has it actually all along the box. It's very pretty, and you've got this golden shine to it. I absolutely love that. You've got the Stormblood on the top, and on the back you have Final Fantasy XIV. So very awesome. Kudos on that. I very much like the look of that. And we've got another one to carefully open. Up, and we're back to cardboard. The wonders of cardboard. Cardboard, cardboard. Let's turn this upside down. So the way they have this inside of the box, they have a lot of items in this very side area. This actually opens up. And then you have the actual box for the figure. It's kind of separate. This is a very interesting choice. I'm not necessarily sure how well I like this being kind of super separate, because for me, I'm just going to display the figure in the box. I'm actually not going to take it out. I will take it out for the video, but it's going right back in the box. But let's do the small stuff first and then get to the figure. So if we open up this section here, they start immediately with the actual game. It has that beautiful artwork once again. On the back, you see the scene from the Samurai cutscene that was shown, I believe, at London Fan Fest 2017. The game lets you know that it requires Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn to play right on the front here. Set that aside. Next thing in this little side section that we've got, the art of Eorzea, Stormblood. Now this is a very nice book. This feels nice. So we're going to open this up as best we can. Scoot over, evil Garlean guy. Don't need your shit today. So we've got some pictures here of the Red Mage. I'm sure the next page is going to be... Hey, we actually got some more art here. I'm not going to show off the whole thing, just snippets. Samurai, we've got some designs, some swords. We've got monk, we've got paladin, so we've got the various jobs that we can go through here. All the job gear, the AF gear. Different types of armor that are non-specific. This one's crafting gear. Let's see, skip a little bit. Some minion art. These are very cute. We got Lise in here. I have yet to unlock this outfit, still stuck at Rabadoo. Fuck my life. Some characters I haven't met. Some places I haven't been. This is fantastic. No, this is quite beautiful. I always love to see the art in these games. Here's the art for the figure, which is actually on front of the box for the figure. I believe this is Omega. I am looking at it upside down and backwards and behind and at a weird angle, and obviously the beautiful art that's featured prominently throughout the collection. So there's really nothing on the back, but the front is really pretty. I very much like this foil texture that's right here. It's hardbook. I like this a lot more than some of the other art books that I have, so I think this is fundamentally very good quality, so I'm very happy with this. I'm also going to put this aside and move on to the next item. Alright, what we got? I think this is a sticker, or a decal? A decal? It looks like a sticker! I'm not going to spend too much time with it. It's a sticker. I don't know what all this this mumbo jumbo is right here. Somebody explain that one to me. I'm assuming... I mean, it doesn't look Chinese. Maybe they included both so they didn't have to print stickers for different regions? Jury's out on that one. Ah! Alright, I'm excited about this. This is the map. Now there's a map that was included in, I believe, the 2.0 limited edition, or the 1.0. Those are two that I don't have. So if anyone could correct me in the description or the comments, that would be great. I'm going to open this up to see what we've got here. It is cloth, so if you really wanted to, and you could hang it up. It's a very kind of shiny material. I don't know if you can tell that very well on your side. I wouldn't say it's a very super sturdy material. However, they do have some really nice stitching to make sure everything stays in place in the corners. This is very sturdy, so in theory, the map shouldn't actually fray. So, remember how I was talking about those stickers? They're here, here, and here. These are the bane of my existence, but very common in action figures. So, I'm going to use the trusty machete here to cut these very carefully. So, let's see, yeah. Very carefully. Very carefully. Yeah, just like that. There we go. Do it to the other side. Now, in theory, you can do these a lot faster, but once again, this is my biggest pet peeve when you open these, and then the tape actually takes off some of the paint of the box. Drives me nuts. So, let's see, Mr. Zenos Yale Galvius, or however you say your name. He's here. Nothing else in the box. There's no, from what I can see from a quick look, there's no assembly or anything like that. Get a close-up on him here. You can see he's pretty tightly in there, but once again we're going to go through and we're going to open him up so you can actually see. The side of the figure has tape, so once again you're either going to have to take that off or cut it. Since you really can't damage the plastic when you rip these off, I actually rip these off for personal reasons. It makes it more efficient when you move, in case you actually keep the boxes for your figures, which I do because I'm insane. Let's see, is there another one up here? Yeah, there is. The plus side is that I have claws, so this is fairly easy to deal with. Now, if you really want to keep the integrity of this, you can just check if there's some on the top, which there isn't, and you can actually just open it on one side, like so. And by doing that, these two plastic pieces will forever be combined. See? Like an open book. Alright, he's got some plastic bits in here to make sure that all of his details are safe. I'm going to take him out very carefully. Once again, he has that very kind of soft texture. This is something that Square Enix does a lot, specifically with their Play Arts figures. It's that soft, kind of foldable, moldable kind of thing, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I like the hard PVC figures, and this is not that. So let's see if we can fit this buddy on his stand. The stand is very sturdy, actually. It's a little hollow, but it's rather thick, so that's another plus there. But does it take 5 years to get him on it? That is the question. Do you got you standing, buddy? Alright, we got him standing. However, he does have a lot of very interesting detail. Obviously, the armor in Final Fantasy XIV is something that's a little bit difficult to do. It's his weapon, or the sheath for his weapon, that looks the most entertaining and the most well-crafted. You have, it looks like 3 separate katana on the back here. I can make them jingle jangle. That's got some nice gold detail and paint job there. I'm a little disappointed in the face. The face is a bit, I don't know. Once again, I haven't met him in game, but I think the painting on the face is a little lackluster. I do like some of the small details. I like how his sword here, you can see this, it has little details actually in the sword, and he has like tarnishes on the back of his cape. One thing that's a little bit disappointing, once again, I think this is something that has to do with the way Square Enix and Final Fantasy does their play art figures, is you don't have like these fabric tassels here. Like they're just a glob. They're just kind of painted on. The sword is very flimsy. I'm a little worried about that. It can get caught in his cape here. On to our last box of the day. I'll be honest, I bought this for an emote so I could get the emote early, and I haven't opened the box from October, let's see, the first week of October to almost July. Yeah, that was a smart choice on my part. I'll be honest, it was a fantastic choice. Anywho, as you can see, the Odin box here is quite pretty. I actually very much like this top. You've got like this kind of shimmer to the Final Fantasy letters and also to the picture of Odin here. And the cool thing is you've got this really nice, this nice open kind of frame for, if you will, keeping it in the goddamn box, which I'm a big fan of doing. This is something I love. Square Enix actually does this with a lot of their figures, but they don't incorporate it into the Final Fantasy expansions very often. It also has like a kind of descriptor story type of thing over on this side, which is really interesting for all of you lore buffs out there. Once again, we have these stickers. You can see them on the top here, here, and here. We're going to be taking those off. They're actually on the bottom of the box as well. So if you, for whatever reason, want to open the bottom of the box, please be mindful of that so you don't accidentally take off any of the black of the box. We've got the top open. I believe these are, this sort of top is more reminiscent of the more modern Square Enix boxes. They have all these warnings inside. Once again, don't be an idiot. Is that my code? Is my code a sticker? My code's a sticker at the top of the box. I can't even take it out. Man, I could have opened this like forever ago and not waited for a goddamn video. Alright. Hey Odin. You want to come out in the sun? It's like 125 degrees in Vegas, but you know, you might like it. It's a little different than Gridania, but you might like it. Alright, let's see. Ooh. It is such a gorgeous figure. It really is. The height is wonderful. Let's see, do we have the tapes on the side? We do have the tape on the side. Once again, I'm going to take the tape off of one side only. Just peel it right off. That way we can kind of have the two plastic pieces together when we pack him back up and send him into the dark depths of his box, to where he will sit until somebody eventually does his fate again. Not that anyone needs to, because, you know, everybody was past that about a year ago. But hey, maybe one day, in a server far, far away, they'll honor Odin and his memory. Alright. Let's split this open very carefully. Kind of. There we go. Ah, that loud popping sound is super comforting. So we've got, he has plastic wrapped all over him here. Oh, he even smells nice. Yes, I just sniffed a statue. What are you gonna do about it? this plastic out of the way here. So as you can see, it has this sort of tiered kind of stand. Very beautiful, quite like that. It's got actually a metal support pole, which is fantastic because it has a very upright position, so the figure isn't going to lean, which is something that a lot of people are concerned of. Specifically, once again, you have these soft, bendy kind of figures. So with this metal pole here, that ensures that you don't have a figure eventually going like this. You've got some really nice detail. You even have some mushrooms from Gridania that's on the back of the stand portion, which is really nice. These details right here that are actually on the horse's tail and mane, they're somewhat translucent in texture, very slightly, but it gives it this really cool look to it. It's fantastic. Let's see. Oh, the sword, as flimsy as you can expect. You can bat it around because it's that soft material. Actually might even... Can't take it out of his hand, looks like. That is stuck to Odin's hand right there. Odin actually is quite small on his horse. He only takes up about it's only like this big. That's as big as Odin is. The horse actually takes up most of the statue, as well as his spear here, which is also quite flimsy. But the detail is remarkable. The detail on the horse is fantastic. It looks gorgeous. Definitely, this is a figure that I would pay for just because of the sheer detail and the scaling. These figures, I feel, work way better when they're bigger. Now, if I remember correctly, this was a $120 figure.
The great thing about Odin is this dynamic pose. It makes it visually appealing, and as a consumer, it feels worth it for the price. The Stormblood figure of our Garlean friend does not have this, despite the intricate detail. I really felt it was necessary to touch on this, so let's do some comparisons and talk a little bit about an animation concept called line of action. So I know what you're thinking, why am I bringing up an animation concept? Well, it actually has a lot to do with posing and what makes a pose interesting in a character, and the same rules really do apply for an action figure. Xenos is imitating his character artwork, where he is, indeed, just kind of standing there. However, you can have a character stand there and show off a bit of their personality. Let's take this official artwork of Lise and compare. She has her hip cocked to the side, creating a curved line of action, which makes it more dynamic and shows off her playful yet girlish personality. In one of Xenos' first cutscenes in Stormblood, he's sitting in a chair, rather haughty and kind of spoiled, and looking bored or displeased. That pose would not only create a more interesting figure, but also tell us more about Xenos. So, to prove that you can have interesting standing figures, I've pulled a few others out of my collection to kind of compare. With Tiger here, he's meant to be in a profile or 3/4 view, which, based on Xenos' official artwork, he's meant to be in a 3/4 as well, yet it doesn't really come across with the way the figure is constructed. In fact, it almost looks like you would prefer him in a straight-on view. The difference is that the angles make Tiger here more interesting, and the break in his legs, as well as the curve of his back, creates a clean line of action. Makoto is also fairly symmetrical, much like Xenos, but they provide action with the movement of his jacket, the tilt and expression of his face, and the slight wind in his hair. Despite it being a more boring stance, they kind of make up for that by creating a sense of action, a sense of him actually moving, despite the pose he's in. It's a bit subtle, but it gets the job done. Even Heavensward figure of Midgar Somer has a very dramatic line of action, despite it being kind of smaller. As someone who cares way too much about action figures, this makes Stormblood's Collector's Edition a really hard sell. I think the packaging is visually super striking. It's bold, it's in your face, and it's glorious, and it's got kind of the spirit of Stormblood. And the art book is fantastic in terms of quality. However, the Xenos statue and the sticker are a bit of a letdown at the $200 price tag. From a personal standpoint, I kind of feel we were in a better ballpark at the $150 price tag, like with the Heavensward expansion. However, if you're interested in any of the items we talked about, I've linked them below. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see all of you for our next adventure in Alamigo.